And the winner is Arctic Monkeys!
That subscriber content, eh? That subscriber content, it just won't go away.
It might hibernate from time to time and sink back into the swamp. I think the cyclical nature of the universe in which it exists demands it adheres to some of its rules.
But it's always waiting there, just around the corner, ready to make its way into your ears and smash through the gated payment system, sounding better than ever.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Benefits such as getting ad-free episodes a week early with pre- and post-show chat relating to the monkeys, last Shadow Puppets episodes, bonus podcasts, watch-alongs, plus helping us improve our sound with better equipment and services.
Yeah, this podcast seems like it's fading away sometimes, but with subscribers, it will never die. Thank you very much for listening. We do truly appreciate it. Don't take that the wrong way.
Yeah, we'll invoice you for the subscription if we need to.
We're Arctic Monkeys. This is Don't Believe the Hype.
That rock and roll, eh? Ladies! That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question. Cheers, dude. That man just yawned. We're gonna call it
Don't Believe the Hype.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Don't Believe the Hype, the podcast that's smashing through the glass ceiling of Arctic Monkeys facts and opinions, looking, well, less said about that the better. Every week we're taking a look back at a classic track from the band's discography with me, Nick Lee, and with me as always, emergency battery pack just in time for our weekly chat with Dan Holt on video call. Hello, Dan.
That was very nice. Hello.
Mixing them up now. I've come
good.
up with a new theme for them, so I can't just rattle off a lyric every week, so I'm going to interact with the lyric.
I like that one, yeah. That was good, that.
Spicing
it up like a stale marriage. that was the strap-on pegging equivalent of.
No. I think this is just me leaving some lingerie out. I think this is me going on her phone. I think this is me like mentioning lingerie out loud so she gets the targeted ads on her phone. I think that's what this is right now. We've not fully escalated to the. Do you want to just do it with arse, love?
Yeah, well, I'll wait for the amazing amazing thing you write for that then, when you fuck me. No, but I'm in a good mood because we're doing. I don't want to say it's my favorite B-side from this era, but it could be. But it's got stiff competition coming up. That's the only thing. It's subject to change because I do love a lot from this era. But this is the one that we said could have been on the album.
Yes.
Yeah, over the others, and I'd say the from what I saw from the survey results, the poll results, the audience agreed with us. I think when you listen to the edit, this did sound right coming after If You Were There Beware and then leading into Old Yellow Bricks. Yeah. So yeah, although I'd get rid of that now and I'd put Too Much to Ask in after it and then go into 505 to be honest. But I'd have If You Were There Beware, What If You're Right First Time, Too Much to Ask, 505. That's what I'd have probably. 5. No, this is a pretty good tune, isn't it?
Good mood, good tune.
I'm sensing that you don't feel as strongly about the song as I do.
I was thinking about this before. I wouldn't have it as my favourite B-side purely because of the
not this era, by the way. Sorry, B-side this era, not.
Oh yeah, no.
B-side overall, yeah.
Clear
that.
I wouldn't. There's several B-sides to come in this era that I'd have well above this, but not in terms of getting on the album. This should have been on the album, but at the same time, the ones we've got to come are the ones I'm most excited about.
The two. This is one of my favorites. It would be in my top 3, but there's 2 above it. I'd have to reconfirm that as we listen, but I do love this one. But that could change. Well, it's definitely my favorite so far of the B-sides. Admittedly, we've only covered 2, but and as fun as Dizzy was, I still think this is a better song. Overall.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, we've danced about it like the handbag it is, but why don't you tell us what song it is?
Oh, did we not? Oh, sorry. What If You Were Right First Time is what we're covering tonight. Which is an absolute tune. Should we reacquaint ourselves with it?
Let's do exactly that. I've even dug out a live version. That's a nice surprise, isn't it? You get to this stage of the B-sides and you expect to just be having to play the version.
Yeah, I
that's on
didn't
the
look
single,
actually.
but no.
I didn't check. So, very good.
I was going to tell you, but I thought no, I won't.
I'm
I thought
intrigued
I'll
which
leave
bit
it.
you
Nice
took,
surprise for him.
which bit you've clipped up. I'm hoping it's one bit, but it might not be, and you're not at fault if it is, but because I didn't tell you. But go on.
That's right. I'm not at fault. Let's find out.
Right, I'm not your ex. Calm down.
What's the atmosphere when we get back after this song?
Into those eyes, down no telephone line. What if you were right first time?
Oh
I'm
man,
just seeing you going for it there.
Oh, that's why it's potentially my favorite B-side. That bit after that I also like as well. But the held is there. You know my love for the man, the myth, the legend. It's that there's chills thinking about that. I think that's his. I think that's his potentially his best drum work of this era. In this
Well,
song.
I'm talking of music. This may well musically be one of my favorite choruses by them.
Any favorite choruses?
Musically,
chorus.
in particular, yeah, I
Music
think it's great. There's
speaking.
some stuff going on there that I love. Absolutely,
Yeah,
fantastic.
because they didn't have any choruses on this album, as we said as well. They were slipped into it. Yeah, so. Yeah, well, we'll get into it. But yeah, I just think it's a tune. I've got a lot to say about it.
This is what I like
I've
to
also got a
hear.
bold statement to make at the end of it as a hot take. Potentially might upset a few people, but we'll wait for that. So you got that coming.
Well, I'm glad you've got a hot take because I was about to use the hot take jingle just then, just to tell you that about the musical thing. So it's good that I didn't because
We could have
that makes me
multiple.
feel too hot
There's plenty of hot takes to go around. Got more hot
words.
takes than hot
Wise
dinners.
Very, very inclusive. I bet you're not a dickhead about trans people or anything. That's just so inclusive. That is. I love that. Let's go to the information
not, no,
action
I'm
ratio. No, live and let live, mate. Yeah.
You're making it sound like
But-
I am, and you're doing a bit, but I'm not. Just to clarify to everyone,
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no. That was me being sincere. This is why I don't do I can't do like voiceovers for adverts. It's like go to Tesco.
No, when you
if
do
you want.
sincere, it does sound like you doing a bit.
It's because I try too
Let's
hard.
explain why you failed relationships.
There's a guy I've had on
I love you. Are you taking the piss?
in a way. There's a guy I've had on my football podcast a few times, and he's when other people have told me, they said, "Oh, he thinks you hate him." So now I've gone properly out of my way to be like, "You're Andy."
To be fair, I
It's
can
a
do
friendly
with that.
mate.
A lot of people think that I hate them. I can relate to that. A lot of people tend to say, "Oh, does he like me?" People seem to get a bit. Why they care if I like them or not, I don't know. No, I mean, I don't like me, so. But I don't.
learn anything from this podcast. Our opinions don't matter.
So yeah, but yeah, people do have that thing of does he like me? But because usually I don't like people, so that must come through.
That's it. Well, I've gone properly out of my way to be nice to him now, and it just comes across as insincere. It just makes it look like I'm being
fine line.
sarcastic.
It's a fine line, and if he'd have known that you did like him originally, would have been fine. What if he'd known that you were right first time?
Inflation action ratio.
The information action ratio. Ain't that the place to go?
What if you were right the first time? More controversy on that later. Well, what if you were right the first time? Is 3 minutes and 2 seconds long, and it has 4.3 million streams on Spotify, a drop of a third from Temptation. So I assume the Temptation numbers are way higher than this, and if you found this, it's probably too late because of the Dizzy connection. Perhaps it got a few more commercially listens. It is 146 beats per minute and is in the key of A sharp / B minor.
Wrong key though.
Other key tracks in A sharp / B minor. I thought it was. This isn't a joke. I thought it was worth noting as this has rock-esque sounds, but the Sheffield Scamps AM mega hit "Do I Want to Know" was in the same key, which seems like a bit of a niche key. So there you go. Interesting, perhaps. Is there an interesting comparison?
That's not funny, though, is it?
No, it's not. I'm just an interesting comparison, perhaps. Do you not think? Maybe. I just thought it was worth noting because they both got that rock vibe. Maybe. Yeah.
I was wondering to myself when we first started doing this. I was wondering if we'd get to a point where one of the songs that shared a key would be one of their songs, and we've reached it. Series 2, episode 15.
There you go. I mean, there probably have been others. This one, there probably have been others because there's a big list. I mean, there's loads of their songs of theirs that are in like E minor and A sharp stuff. Because this is an obscure one and they're both rock songs, I thought it was worth noting. You know what would never work for a hit song, Nick? A campy, attired Mormon wearing a serviceman's jacket complete with feathers singing a pop tune that poses a philosophical question. But wait, it does. Sit down, Donny Osmond fans. It's the Killers with Human. And I didn't know whether to go with Eric Clapton, I Shot the Sheriff, or Motley Crue's Knock 'em Dead Kid. Don't want to get those two artists and song titles mixed up, do you? Is that too dark, you reckon?
I mean, I can go darker with Clapton if you want.
If it is too dark, I've got to back up. It's Eminem with I Love the Way You Lie featuring Rihanna. I think that means lie down or lie to protect a woman beating scum. I'm not sure. There you go. That was lighter, wasn't it? Yeah. This song has been played live 11 times by the band. Firstly, on February 10th, 2007, at the as crops up frequently, the Lead Mill at Sheffield gig. And lastly, on March 29th, 2007, at Zepp Tokyo, Japan. More's the pity, really. Could have brought this out for Metallica, I reckon, when they were doing the set list for the Metallica gig.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been up there. They would have gone,
that.
That one. Yeah. Shame, really, shame. But yeah, I would have liked 11 times. Not enough for me. Didn't last. I think they should have stayed in the set. Maybe if they put it on the album instead of, I reckon if they put it on the album instead of the Bad Thing, it would have had legs for a while. I think this one.
Yeah.
I reckon
legs for days. Legs for days.
Should we do some reviews? Should we do some reviews? If those days. As day turns into night, perhaps.
Legs for days, but I didn't say the days would be any good.
The final days of Rome, perhaps. Something would be. Oh, I describe your legs. Drowned in sounds. A drowned in sound said, "What if you're right the first time is possibly the closest echo of the band's older work contained on this release, but it still sounds several light years away from the likes of Leave Before the Lights Come On. It could have been a single in its own right, and it is sure to be a fan favorite. He's with me. The fact it finds itself relegated to the status of second bonus track here once again leaves the mouth watering as to what lies ahead on Nightmare." So interestingly, that review was done before it came out. Favorite was Nightmare because this was released first.
Yeah, the single.
So he thinks listening to this, he's thinking, "Oh, what's coming with this and Brianstorm? What's coming?" Do you think he was disappointed in the sort of first half of the album? If he thought this were coming, probably not. I mean, you can't be disappointed in it. Really, it's just different, isn't it? Yeah. How could you be disappointed?
And there's still echoes of this on the album. If
from track,
album, then he's going to get what
track
he needs.
7 certainly. There's 2 tracks there, definitely. That Enemies.
Or maybe he heard
greatest...
first. Maybe he got to like first adolescent and was like, "This is shit."
Yeah, this isn't what I wanted, and turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or worse, only ones who know the end. Went, no. Yeah, I was supposed to do me a favor. Would have a bit of it. Yeah, Enemies Greatest List put this at number 91. They put Excess is pared away on this repetition-heavy track where riff after riff crashes down at a rate of knots. It's a noisy indie rock song. End of. I dispute that. I think it's got a little bit more to it than that, but okay.
Yeah.
Don't remember many indie rock songs of the time being this good, but yeah, we'll see.
I hate to call you an idiot on my podcast, Enemy, but I think it's a bit more comprehensive than that.
It's been a mixed bag, this list of Enemies, because it's weird because they really love them, but they seem like they've been a bit of turncoats on the old stuff Enemy because they raved about them so much AM and then stuck with it for Tranquility and this that now they're turning their back on the old stuff and put it. Pull form, Enemy.
Form for that though, Enemy. Enemy did it with the third Oasis album. Well, everyone did. The third Oasis album, everyone was giving
Not
it
their fault, it was shit.
9 and 10 out of 10, and then they've come back and revised it and gone, "It wasn't that good. We just wanted new Oasis music, and we were that desperate that we looked past how shit it was."
The hype, yeah, the hype music. I wouldn't say that's not obviously what they've done because these songs are actually good for Arctic Monkeys. So it's worse what they've done. They've reassessed it and put it unfairly down, I'd say. But yeah, this song. So then musically, I think like it is a really good rock song. I think it's like absolute banging opening. You can't get say much better than that. You can just hear the rock influences that Queens of the Stone Age sort of thing coming through again. That desert rock vibe. Helders is absolutely smashing the drums. Isn't he on this one? Going hell for leather as he always does. But I feel like
the BDs as well.
Yeah, well, I think he does hit them harder in this one, I think, than some of the others. That's the feeling I got when I listened to it. It has that favorite worst nightmare sound that we've talked about with the kind of Monkeys riffs, but it's just rockier. Just feels rocky at this. Like I see a bit of humbug in it as well. This one, I see that coming through, fighting to get out.
I'm so glad that I won't really have to listen to this after today, because the more I listen to it, the more annoyed I get that it's not on the album. Obviously, it's a conversation we've already had a few weeks back, but I'm so pissed off. It's a good job they don't play the bad thing live, because if they did play it live, I'd be like, no, I'm out, lads. Too rich for me.
It was a faux pas. It was to have this not on the album. Is that not faux pas? Not the right word, is it? Or is it? Does it mean does it just mean in conversation though? Awkwardly, socially, or does it also just mean mistake?
No, I think it's just general.
Yeah, it's
an
error. Let's say, just in case. It was. Yeah, I don't. I think they really did, and because I don't know. Yeah, because even when I mixed it, because I was like, oh, maybe the bad thing brings something that you don't realize. But when I mixed this into it on the episode for the bad thing, this just fit better. So yeah, I think it is a mistake. I think it more than ever now to not have this on there, because the others actually didn't. Too Much to Ask didn't really work, and in that position, stuff like that. But this, yeah, I don't know. The verses drop to the clean guitar that we've liked throughout this, a staple of this era. Yeah, the bass though on this, oof. Mr. Nick O'Malley, take another bow. No wonder the others. I just think no wonder the others fought for this. They must have thought Alex was fucking mental. Nick's like, have you heard the fucking bass on this? Because the bad thing's just. Have
you seen my fucking fingers?
The bass is like just proper meaty. And it's just it's vibing it, and take another bow. He's taken so many bows already. He'll have back pain, probably, but yeah.
Don't we all?
But I think he's. I do actually today. I think I was doing some kettlebells yesterday, but I rushed it, and I don't think I kept my posture very well, and my back's very sore at the bottom.
I hurt my back the other day doing an impression of Alex in the mirror. I had a couple of extra drinks after our new podcast the other night.
Did you keep on drinking?
More Guinnesses. Yeah, I had a couple more Guinnesses just to celebrate a job well done, really. I wasn't anything. That's what I'm telling myself. That was my ex. That was my ex. When my mum said, "You have another one?" I was like, "Yes." I'm celebrating a job well done. And yeah, I had. I was watching the Corona Capital gig, the Mexico one, and I started imitating some of his mannerisms and did the hand on the hip type thing and jarred
No, you're
something.
back.
So that's the age I'm at now, man.
Yeah, no, Jesus. Alex is older than you. But yeah,
And from the pictures we've seen of him this week, it's weird seeing pictures of him half naked. Well, nearly fully naked, just in swimming shorts.
I don't like it. I don't like
It's like
it.
It's like if
It's
the
like seeing your
Sun,
dad's
like,
naked, innit?
yeah,
You know what I mean? When you were a
if the
kid.
Sun led with the front page of like King Charles.
When you were a kid, I put in
like,
there just so people know.
King Charles and his undies, and you just be like, oh no, it's not right.
It is weird, isn't it? But like because although we joke about him being hot and stuff, I don't know if we do that publicly actually, but we do now.
Put that out. Yeah, leave it in.
But
see
but
it.
it does feel weird. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if women are watching it, looking at it and going, "Whoa!" Like I feel like he's sexier with clothes on. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's the choice of clothes. I think
It's
you
everything.
can't
Isn't
really
it?
have that kind of personal wardrobe when you're having to put swimming shorts on.
Also, the pictures of him and Louise, like they're just. I hate those celebrity photos because I always feel like, do they know someone's taking? Because I've never.
Daily Mail posted them today. The Daily Mail.
Oh, I
got
saw.
hold of them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
made a massive article out of it, and I just wanted to go and cry.
They stood near the deck chairs, like hugging and kissing stuff, and I was like, "Do people do that? Like, just stand there and like just." I don't know.
In swimming shorts as well. Would you not get a boner? Boner, because we're in American Pie.
No, because I wouldn't get a boner. I mean, I might if it was Louise, but no, because he's maybe if it was if it were the first time, I'd hug there maybe, but then I don't know. I think you stop all that once you pass the once you've like sort of had regular sex.
I think no. If I'm having regular sex and I'm kissing a half naked woman, I'm still.
If I'm kissing a half naked woman in private, but I couldn't do it in the public and get a boner now.
No, I think yeah.
I'm not a public. I'm not a PDA person really.
Well, public boners is going into the episode description. People are going to look at the episode description and think, "What the hell's going on?"
Good band name.
This podcast has gone mental. Public boner.
For a 1990s pop punk band, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like a ska pop punk band that did like a song off the "Dude, Where's My Car" soundtrack.
Yeah,
they had like one hit.
Public boner. But anyway. Yeah, like I said, the drums sound amazing in this. I love there's a little pause and Helders does a little double tap before it goes into the chorus. Yeah, I like that because normally they just pause, but he does a little double tap for him. Chorus is pretty much the same as the opening, but that lead though, another reason why I love this song. That is a Jamie Cook special deployed in a different way. I'd say that's like a Queens of the Stone Age or something very desert rock. Yeah, there's something different about the sound of his lead in this. Assuming he does it, or was it Alex on that? I think it is Jamie, isn't it?
I think it is Jamie.
But that kind of it's got this. It sounds like electricity in my mind. That the way he's playing it. That's what I'd say. That's what it reminds me of. Like I could imagine, like the things on Guitar Hero where the electric bolts hit the guitar. Like, I can imagine that. I think the second part of the chorus is very them though. It stops the lead and it goes into like a rhythm playing, a bit Strokes-esque. I thought.
It's very Strokes, very Strokes. That's what I wrote down as well. It is basically Strokes mixed with Queens of the Stone Age, yet it's still somehow quintessentially Arctics. Somehow they've managed to make it sound like two bands, yet it's still clearly them.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have the hip hop vibes because I wouldn't even say the verses when it's held as a net. That normally has a bit of a hip hop vibe. I'd say it doesn't. It's more of a rocky vibe than a hip hop vibe. This is one of the least hip hoppy tunes so far, really. Yeah, held as the well, actually, no. Before I say that, there's the some nice pauses. There's the double one with the the dun, and I like there's one with double guitar where it goes dun ding like that up. I'm a big fan of that. I was hoping he did it live, then he did. I'm a big fan of that sound. Again, a staple of his favorite West era. The sound of that guitar as it comes back up is that kind of reverby sound that we've been enjoying. Then we got the build up. Helder's doing some superb drum rolls here. You heard him on the clip there, but I mean, some of his best work so far, definitely for me, definitely that. And then, but what I will say is when the guitar kind of builds back in, it's like a kind of feedback building up in it. Then, and then when it comes in all together for this bit, to me it sounds incredible. It's so expansive and loud, like it's just pure rock, but their twist on it because it still sounds like them, like you say. But it's so fucking big. That sound when it comes back in, I think it's one of the biggest I've ever heard them. It should be filling like a stadium. That sound, like it's just like it's so like expansive to what we normally hear from them. I feel like, considering it looks like it just recorded live as well with a couple of guitars, not free guitars or anything. It's huge.
Imagine how big this would sound if they brought it back now. Like with the extended band as well. Oh my word!
I think
face melting stuff.
The problem is they never bring B-sides back really much, do they? So because they've got so many tunes, they must just have a rule like, well, we can't be bringing B-sides back if we can't get album tracks in. So unfortunately, that's why if it was on bloody Famous Nightmare, then we might see more of it now. Yeah.
The last time we heard a B-side from them was start of the Tranquility tour. You're So Dark made a couple of appearances, and that's been it.
I'd quite like to hear that lead, but done on a violin.
Oh,
Do
hello.
you know what I mean?
Right, Last Shadow Puppets, you'll have a bit of space in the set with all the fucking covers you took in. Get started.
They have done Arctic's covers before. And well, apparently Arctics did a cover of them, but we called bullshit on that, didn't we? Was it the Finsbury Park gig that said that they did Standing Next to Me?
Yeah, if you went to the Arctic Monkeys Finsbury Park, was it 2014? I think it was. If you went to that, can you confirm? Because we can't find any evidence of it, and I maintain
there'd be videos on YouTube. It's only 9 years ago. There'd be videos of it all over the place. Never happened. Unless like the only way I could see it out there is if like then because Miles came on 505 and comes on and just Standing Next to Me with the band, that'd just be odd. I don't really see why they would do that. It's one of those. I think it's one of those Setlist FM jokes that sort of slipped into the ether by mistake before it was course corrected. You know, like when people
don't get me started on Setlist FM jokes, mate. The last few months have been a nightmare because of them.
Yeah,
me messaging you like, oh my god, you'll never believe what they're playing.
Do you remember that night when someone just changed one of them to Alex is gay, and it was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Children are weird.
I don't think children would find that fun anymore. I thought that they seem more like gay jokes are a thing of the past now on the playground. But who knows?
Do you remember Richard Hammond got reprimanded by the BBC for saying ice cream was gay? Do you remember that?
I do remember
man
that.
in his 50s.
Alex Turner himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so big. Like, it just, I love the lead as well in this bit again of this era, but it's just perfect. Like, it sounds so well structured, but also a bit chaotic at the same time. Is how I would describe this bit. It just still shocks me how big and loud and expansive that is. I remember at the time thinking, "Wow, this is Jesus. This is like not like them. This is huge." And then hearing it now, still thinking that, and I love the way it comes down to the bass and the drums at the end there as well. Really showcases that Helders O'Malley partnership once again there at the end. But and then obviously one last go at the intro chorus. But I love the way the lead takes us out of the song. It's like such a satisfying ending with the down. Yeah. It's like you could just be completely satisfied by it. Actually reminds me a bit of the end of Crying Lightning is quite a satisfying end, I always find. Because I like the way that not Crying Lightning.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
The way because when I think of the Crying Lightning ending, the way it goes din, and then I always think of pinned down by the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to do that era. Oh.
No.
I'm doing that thing where I fantasize because I don't think it's just not that we haven't loved this, but I feel like since we started, I've been chomping at the bit to get to the meatier stuff. Like, even though this has been fun, and it's been obviously we've had some great episodes and great time listening to it and stuff. But really, the humbug's where things kick off in it. That's where things get fucking dirty.
That's what we've been building up to.
Yeah. It's where you call the police. The party's got our hand. Calling the neighbours are calling the police. That's humbug onwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Someone's on a mobility scooter doing donuts in the front garden. It's just Jamie's disappeared out the back garden somewhere, leapt over the fence and disappeared for 6 days. It's just it's going to be mental. It's going to be bonkers.
But we're not there yet, and we've still actually got some cracking tunes to do in this era, which I'm very much looking forward to as well. We've even got, to end this era, we've even got some humbug-esque tunes, you might say, just to slip us in perfectly into the humbug. But I loved, actually, you know what? It just, it just occurred to me, and I don't know what you'll think of this, but does this tune sometimes make you think of? It reminds me sometimes of Beetle Bum by Blur. Ooh. You know, like the bit when it's all sort of kicking off in the middle. I don't know why. It gives me a bit of a vibe of this one. When it's the chorus when he comes slip away. There's something about it. I don't know that gives me a vibe of it. Which he keeps coming up recently in relation to Arctic Monkey's old Damon, doesn't he? Damie Dames. I mean, when I say coming up, he repeatedly keeps talking about them.
He just won't shut
presumably some effort.
He's like us.
Yeah, we get him on. We get him on. Do you think
we talk about him less than he does?
I think we'll message him. Do you want to be on this sort of niche fan podcast? No. It's about Arctic Monkeys. Oh yeah, what time do they want me on?
yeah. Can I come on every single episode?
Super fan, Damon Albarn. No, well, he does, and it's great. I love it. And a collaboration. Yes, please. Maybe Alex's next side project will be with Damon. Imagine that. Oh, imagine that those two worlds colliding. So the man that made the Gorillas.
Miles looking through the window like Gerard in Peep Show.
Oh, speaking of, Miles's album comes out tomorrow at Simon Recorded. So next week's pre-show chat, we'll do a review of that. So, I mean, actually, I'm trying to encourage people to sign, actually, on the subscription. So maybe I shouldn't say that. We won't be talking about that next week. Don't worry.
Definitely won't be. I mean, I'm still on the Blur album, to be honest. I've not.
I'm going to listen to Miles because he's been fucking going on about it so much, saying it's the best thing he's ever done.
What do you want done?
So I saw a video today, and he's like, "I've stripped it back to basics," and that was an awful attempt at a Scouse accent. Wasn't it? Yeah. He was like, "I'm not going to do his effects." He skipped it back to basics, and sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. He said, and I thought, "Oh God, sounds like David Brent."
It feels like we only go backwards.
Oh, very good. No lyrical arm for that though, I'm afraid.
No, didn't want one. Didn't want one anyway.
So
Didn't want it to. Next.
as we move into the lyrics, what vibe do you reckon? What lyrical vibe are you getting from this song?
The only vibe you need to worry about is the one that Vicky keeps in the knicker drawer that she's been getting out when you're at the football in a few weeks.
She get out. She can get out, and I'm here. Don't worry about that. It's fine.
Oh, don't make it seedy. Seedy. Just a loving relationship. I love a mutually beneficial sexual relationship, and I'm very jealous. Stop it.
If not, a little fluffy.
We're back on. Kind of it. But so I'm back on the reflections on fame vibe. He's got a girl back at home. He's having to go out on tour. He's wondering what she's doing. Something that we've not had to live through.
I think. Well, I can relate to it because I think it is that. It is exactly that, but I think it's also a little bit more intense than that. I think it's the paranoia of that and that the intense, like the way that feels. And I have had that once, I would say, that kind of paranoia about it. So I can relate to it, but obviously not in the same circumstances exactly because I wasn't, but yeah, it's definitely about that, about being away and wondering what she's up to. Can she be trusted? But obviously missing her as well. The love. At what point does distrustful paranoia love become toxic? Is the question to pose. Though, is it just nice that you miss them, or is it a little bit of your own insecurities coming in, Alex? The man who said he worries that women look happier in pictures before he met them. I think he got some issues to work out.
It's all right for me to think that because it'll be true. But Mr. Rock God Alex Turner, it's not fair. Don't go. Just love yourself a bit, Alex.
I know, I do wonder. Do you feel like let's not psychoanalyze him? That's not what we're here for. We'll psychoanalyze his lyrics. That's what we're here for, not the man himself. Yeah. And that'll give us a piece of the puzzle, though, particularly in the future. But
don't get stuck on the puzzle.
Great opening word here. This is up there. This is up there with me with totalitarian. And what was the other word we said was up there with totalitarian in this album? We said it was this album's totalitarian. I can't bloody remember what it was. Trying to think what song it was on.
Oh, it was fairly
a great word. It was fairly
the album.
Yeah, that's not on the bad thing, was it?
Can we not talk about the bad thing when we talk about this song, please?
But anyway, whatever that was.
Let's have a look at what you could have won.
Betwixt, what a word. Betwixt and between. Betwixt and between the fantasy dream and the fear, do you wonder where she is this afternoon? So, like, being stuck between the thoughts of the fantasy of the happy relationship with her and the fear of being away and being paranoid about it and wondering where she is and stuff. Yep.
It's interesting because that first line works both ways as well, because the fantasy dream and the fear. So as you just said, the fantasy dream is a relationship and the fear is being away. But at the same time, the fantasy dream could be being away and living the dream, and the fear is what's going on back at home. It could be both.
Oh yeah, I don't think the fear
at the same time. Not like one or the other.
Yeah, no. I don't think the fear is being away. I think the fear is the fear of what she's getting up to. But yeah, no, that's a good point. The fantasy dream could well easily be living the fantasy dream that he is, which you're probably right, actually. Yeah, between the and then does another. This is probably in my top 5 words of all time. If people care. And does it get on your nerves? Make it slightly perturbed. I love that word, perturbed. What a great word. And does it get on your nerves? Make it slightly perturbed. Oh, sorry, make it slight. Oh yeah, sorry, no, make it slightly perturbed. That there's things that you don't know about her. Yes. I've had that though. When you first meet someone, it's intense and maybe being a bit insecure about their past, perhaps. Yeah, you can get that. I think that's a common thing, Alex. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, lad. The next line's quite sweet, though, amongst the paranoia. And even the places that she'd never been with you seem awful empty without her. Use of the word awful is funny, isn't it? It's like old language. Like, it's awfully good. That's awfully good. Yeah, no, I really like that. It's like, for me, that's a bit Sweet Dreams TN-esque. Everyone's a dick without you, baby type line again of Alex. Is that, kind of that idea that even somewhere that you've got no memory of being with this person with feels empty because she's not with you. So what a lovely slipped a little one of his great little love lines in there.
I know.
In the middle of all this intense paranoia and sort of perhaps toxic behavior. He slept that in. And then obviously the chorus is, you can't look into those eyes, down no telephone line. What if you were right first time? So interestingly here, this is the controversy I related to earlier. The title has the, but the lyric doesn't.
Yeah, I'd say I double checked, triple checked, and quadruple checked, and whatever comes after quadruple checked. Just kept checking, but when I went on the band's official YouTube and looked at the version they'd put on there,
Wow.
the audio, it says it has the. So
Well, I have perhaps an idea of what's happened here, because the lyric is without, but the title is, which is a bit odd, but you know. When I was listening back to the track by tracks with Alex and Matt, which we will be for each era, which we will be discussing on some pods soon. Stay tuned. He's it's the first album, so it's not this song, obviously, because this is not on the album. It's the first album, but he asked John says the next ones you probably couldn't see for the lights, but you struck that. And Alex says, have you got 4 written down there, or have you got 3 written down there? And John says it's 4, and Alex goes, oh yeah. He's like it's I think it's different to what originally wrote that's ended up on the album. Like it got mixed up. I think he's like, I can't even remember what it was originally. He's like, I can't remember what it was, the word. So sometimes maybe it can be written down different and put on the album title differently, which is crazy, isn't it? He's just like, I can't remember whether it was 4 or 3 that I wrote.
we'll park that there for just a second, because I think I might have found the phrase you were referring to that's up there with totalitarian.
Okay, yeah.
So I think it might be from This House is a Circus. Is it not? Scaling the corridors for maidens in the maze, and in the anomaly you'll slip into familiar ways. Was that it?
I don't think it was, because it was a word. It wasn't a phrase. It was a word. And I went, oh, that word's up there with totalitarian. I don't think anomaly would have been up there with totalitarian, would it? So
no, that's true.
shit. I've got this weird feeling it was the bad thing, and we were like, even though it's a shit song, it's got this word in it. I don't know. Oral jello bricks. It was definitely post only ones who know that this happened. It must have been. So I would say it's either bad thing or oral jello bricks. I would say.
I can't see what it is, but it's going to really annoy me now.
But what do you think about that? About it being potentially like maybe it was, or what if you were right first time, but somebody's written it down as what if you were right the first time, and that's ended up on the stuff. So I had that in it, because even Alex couldn't remember which one were right that he wrote originally. Yeah. So if he can't remember, then what are you
what hope is there?
I know what it was. Of course it was that. I know what the word was. Escapologist was the word that was up there with totalitarian, I think. I
don't think that was it.
No, I've said it out loud. I don't think it was either. I just read it and went,
I don't think it was. What the fuck are you doing to me, man?
I would have. In fact, it can't be, because I would have heard it this week, wouldn't I? When I listened back to our pod that just got released. So. Maybe it wasn't.
Well, you keep vamping, and I'll just go through everything.
It would have to be 505 then, wouldn't it? Unless it was only last week and we forgot, and it was in. What if you were? If you found this is probably too late. It might have been. Yeah, there's some good words in that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so the title has the lyric there differently, but yeah, it could be discrepancy. I guess we'll never know.
Well, it's not clinically cynical.
Hereditary hate. Nah, because it weren't a phrase. It was a word, like totalitarian. We'll get it. It's
just the worst thing to ever happen to anyone ever.
I don't feel like I've heard it in the pod yet, but maybe I have. I don't know. Can't look. So that's saying you can't look into those down the telephone. What if you're right first time? It's like can't look into her eyes to see if she's telling the truth when you're just able to talk on the phone. So it doesn't help settle your paranoia. Actually, I was thinking. You didn't say it, but obviously I say I've had a bit of the paranoia and all that. I've felt that. But I've never had a situation. But you've had a kind of similar situation in terms of a long distance thing. Is that not something that you experienced ever?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, that was the default setting pretty much. especially because it was quite early on in the relationship as well, as you alluded to before. It's like, well, you don't know everything already as it is. So yeah, very much
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, wondering what do you know, and that sometimes that can be a vicious thing these days with all this access
Oh,
to research you off as well. Maybe sometimes it's best not to know some things about someone.
Yeah. But it's a weird one as well because
It's like those
back
people that
then
go, you
doing,
should tell everyone should tell everyone their number of how many people they've slept with and they're starting a relationship. That's healthy, and it's like, is it though? Because if one of you says 4 and the other one says 50, it's gonna have an effect.
you go
innit?
first.
Yeah, it's gonna have an effect on the person that's less, isn't it? Because you're naturally gonna feel a bit intimidated by the sexual prowess, let's say, of them. So I always think, is that a good idea? I feel like it's just one of those things people say is a good idea. Let's say, healthy relationship. Do you need to know that to have a healthy relationship? How many people say, do you really need to know that? Is it gonna enhance the relationship if you both know that? Unless you're on similar numbers, I don't know. Why would you need to know
in
that?
that conversation? If the next girl I meet is like a bit perturbed, coming back. If she's a bit perturbed by that,
Good word, that. We said a word was good in another. I'm joking.
I'll be like, look, don't do this to me. I'm working my way through all them lyrics that I'll find it. Yeah, I'll just say to her, I'll be like, look, it was the mid-noughties. Bombay Bicycle Club were riding high in the charts. It was a crazy time. Gordon Brown was Prime Minister. It was just mental days, love. Don't
I'll be
feel
honest.
too perturbed by it.
I'll be honest. In my side of the conversation, I thought you were the one that had the 4. when I was putting you in that scenario, I thought you were the one.
I mean,
I don't know.
By at least 2.
There was a years there where I didn't know you. You got to remember when I knew you, you were in a not that you didn't get any numbers up then, but you were in a marriage.
I was in the long distance relationship.
I've missed the in between period there. In fact, when I knew you, I was in a relationship as well. So there's periods there where we don't know.
Well,
maybe we should tell each other. If I tell you mine, if we tell each other numbers and one of them's less than the other, are we going to feel intimidated and not feel comfortable about and be intimidated by the sexual prowess of the other person?
I'm contrary to popular
triple
belief,
figures,
I'm quite comfortable in my skin. God, I wish.
All right, I won't say mine then. No, I'm joking.
You only get a bucket and a half.
But yeah, so yeah, you obviously had that paranoia, but and I like the what if you're right first time, meaning like as you tend to go back and forth between she's up to no good, no, don't be silly, but then you're like, what if you were right first time? What if she is up to no good? What if that little voice in your head going, what if you were right the first time? Yeah. Yeah, and then I repeat for the verse until, and I've got a bit wondering about this one, to be honest. And with the needle in groove, is there all or out to prove? Now, here's my discrepancy, right? So on Spotify, and as we know, we don't have the access to this, and sometimes they can be wrong. The needle in groove is there all to prove. I always thought it was out.
It's out.
Now I could see this one being long because out, for anyone that doesn't know, is a sort of northern colloquialism for anything. It means anything. So you said are out.
I say it a lot.
Yeah, I say it a lot. I'd say,
and then you've got now as well for nothing. If you say nothing, you'll say now.
Yeah.
Now and out.
Yeah. And that's how it sounds. And I can imagine that the kind of whatever they use to get the lyrics, if they haven't got it written down, that could easily be mistaken for all if you don't know the local term of out, which is quite a sort of niche thing internationally, I suppose. So yeah, it's out. So he's like saying, and with the needle and groove, is there anything to prove? Is essentially what he's saying there. And they tell me your feet still tapping. I know there's a first road trip over the water. What is the worst that can happen? So I get that obviously the second part of that is that the US tour or whatever he was on, and what's the worst that can happen while he's away. It's sort of before, isn't it, when he's deciding to go. He's pondering perhaps staying because of the relationship, but he's like, you got to do it. But what's with the needle and groove? Is there all that anything to prove? Does that mean like because the album's out there, do we have to go on another tour? Is there anything else to prove? We put the album out there. Is that what that means?
See, I was thinking about
or is the needle and groove a relationship metaphor? I don't know.
That's it. So I was seeing it as the tour and a reference to the band and stuff like that. But then I moved on to the needles in the groove, the relationship's underway. It's like
spinning
you've
yeah,
committed now. That's it. You're in. Now
needle down.
That's how I saw it. Yeah, which I think that fits the lyrics better. Yeah.
Yeah, because then I guess it's needles in groove. Surely there's nothing to prove now. We're going in the relationship. Your feet still tapping. I guess are you still happy in the relationship or whatever? I know there's a first for a trip over the what is the worst. So it's kind of like the relationship's going well. We shouldn't have anything to prove now. So surely I can go overseas. What's the worst that could happen? Essentially, yeah, that fits, doesn't it? So it's kind of the reassuring himself, perhaps. But then, who do you think? Well, not who do you think it was about, but do you think? I wonder if it was a relationship where something bad did happen while he was away. It's kind of the opposite to Despair and Departure Lounge, isn't it? It's like the anti-Despair and Departure Lounge. It's like after the sweet missing them has passed and the paranoia is setting and the toxicity and you're like, fucking hell, what's she up to now? Where is she? Yeah, it is actually. It's quite a good companion piece actually in terms of that.
Yeah, absolutely is. Really is.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. But yeah, it's and in musically as well. It's opposite to Despair and the Departure Lounge. So yeah, interesting that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the lyrics. It's not got many lyrics. This one has it. It's quite quiet, and it's going to be a bit of a short episode this because it didn't prompt any kind of discussion about sort of. There wasn't much information out there, and it didn't really prompt any bonus rounds or anything like sometimes happens in the research. So, yeah, a little bit of a short one, this, which I didn't think it was going to be. No. But if we're under an hour at the minute.
I had a magnificent idea for a bonus round as well, but I only had the idea like, I mean, don't want to be too precise, but
how long would you have?
I'd say about 17 seconds ago that I came up with it, so I don't have.
Do you want to do it?
No, because I don't know the answers.
How long would it take you to get them? Less than 5 minutes?
No, because given how long it took you to get some, so the idea was I was going to see what the longest song titles are.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I'd imagine the longest Arctic song title is "You Probably Couldn't See for the Lights, But You're Staring Straight at Me." That has to.
What if you're right first time? None of them on.
You found this is probably too late.
You found it's probably too late. None of them on Humbug. Maybe a B-side. If I can.
World's first ever monster truck front flip.
Yeah, that's got to be up there. None on AM. Apart from Stop the World, I Want to Get Off With You. And. Tranquility, yeah, monster truck definitely. The car, none. So, yeah, there isn't that many. They tend to go. They used to go for longer album. Well, the first album title were long, weren't it? But yeah,
Don't have moved your chair as well.
Of course, yeah.
The
Hellcat Spangled Chalala. Is that? No, it's not long, is it? Really? They've got something like 3.
Little Illusion Machine brackets Will Riddler as well.
With the Will Riddler, yeah, that's a bit longer.
Yeah. Perhaps Vampires is a bit strong, but Red Light indicates doors are secured. Temptation greets you like your naughty friend. So there's some quite. Why do you only call me when you're high? Is quite a long title as well. But yeah, you probably couldn't see for the lights is definitely the longest. But,
I reckon 8. Okay, what's that? You probably couldn't see for the lights, but you were staring straight at me. So 14. Yeah, that's quite long, isn't it? They're usually at least under 10 when they're long, but 14 words is.
Yeah, nothing's topping that.
Yeah, and it's only 14 because of like sort of apostrophes and stuff. Otherwise, it would be, up there in the 17s, the 18s. That. Probably one of the longest titles ever, right? I can't think of many really long song titles like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I found a bonus round. Sod it. Let's play the jingle.
That sound means it's the end of the round. Time for the bonus question.
So, in terms of individual characters, what is their shortest song title?
In terms of individual characters?
Oh, and in fact, there's 2 that will be tied for it.
2013.
Nope, shorter.
Shorter? What do you mean? Wait, you mean how many? So there's less than 4. There's some with less than 4 characters. You mean?
Yeah. So we're not talking words. We're talking characters.
And are they album tracks? Okay.
Both B-sides. In fact, there's just one. There's just one that's on its own, and then there's a second one that's close, but they are both B-sides.
And it's
This is going to be really annoying as well. This is like a really annoying.
That is really annoying.
Double check. I've double checked, and I can confirm they are both tied for the same number of characters. 2 songs.
How many characters they have?
I have to tell you that it might give it away.
Will it? I'm completely lost, so I doubt it. But it's less than 4 though, because 2013 has 4.
It is less than 4 characters. Yeah. This is good. I'm well.
IDST has 4.
That's 4. In fact, you
better
could
be right. Otherwise, if there's something that I can pull a hole in this out, then you're very unhappy.
I've got a full list of every song that they've done alphabetically here. IDST is actually 8 characters because you've got a full stop in between each letter.
Oh, well, if you're going to be pedantic like that, then I'm not playing.
It's a quiz, Dan.
I worry now that because we said I mean letters. I don't mean including caret punctuation. So do any of these two have punctuation in that make them free?
It's hard. It's hard to like outline exactly what they've got here. One of them is a B-side from the first album, and another one is a later
7.
B-side.
Of course, I forgot about 7.
There we go.
You're not including that cover that's just a full stop, are you? Whatever. That doesn't count. It's a cover.
It's a dash. Yes, but it's songs recorded.
That doesn't count. No wonder I couldn't get it. It's a cover.
It's on the spot.
You didn't say
singles though. It's
but as soon as you.
But still, all right. 7 is the answer. But
7's a good one.
Dash, the Stephen
7's a good one. Yeah. But 7 must be followed by IDST in 2013, right? Closely,
you know what I did for a second?
I'm not accepting the dash.
What I did for a second was get the one with the dash mixed up with Anyways. Sometimes I think Anyways was done for the Spotify
I've done that.
singles,
I'll be honest.
The dash from the single, so.
I've done that before. But now that we know the dash doesn't count, I have done that before with the enemies. Anyways, and the dash. The enemies. I'm so sick.
I apologize.
Sick and tired.
I will take this as a lesson on the road to become the man that I know I can be. To quote Phil from The Thick of It.
Good. Should we do our favorite lyrics then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Too busy with the mind on clever lines.
And does it get on your nerves, make it slightly perturbed that there's things that you don't know about her? I like that. But shout out to the title because it's a good turn of phrase.
Turner of phrase. I've said that for a while. So yeah, I was going to say the same one as you, but also a shout out to the first line, betwixt and between the fantasy dream and the fear. Do you wonder where she is this afternoon?
Betwixt is a cracking word, isn't it?
Betwixt is great.
I can't believe this one's only going to come up to roughly an hour. That's mad, isn't it?
People don't want to listen to us talk about a B-side for like 2 hours, do they? I mean, they might.
No, but we have before, but we probably will for some coming up. But it's crazy that, yeah. But I guess I guess when you ain't got out to talk about, you ain't got out to talk about. It's quite simple. I actually thought there was more lyrics in this when I was doing my notes. I was like, oh, hang on, the lyrics are done. Like, I thought it sounds longer because the track's longer, but a lot of it is instrumental, isn't it? So yeah. But yeah. So favorite musical moment.
Bad sounds in your ear that make you get up and down.
Actually, my hot take might cause a stir in the conversation, so we've got that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm hanging on to that, mate. To be honest,
it's got to be
just my quiz.
It's got to be the rock bit, the expansive bit. Has to be when it all comes in after Helder's drum. Well, Helder's drum roll included, and then.
Yes, that's the correct answer.
Really love to see that because I don't think they ever played it live when I've seen them, so it'd be great to get to fucking bob along to that. 10 years ago, too old for that now. But
we never get the B-sides live over.
Yeah, we would have. I think I've had. I've had some. I think when we saw him, I think we got like Plastic Tramp or something, didn't we?
I think we had Plastic Tramp at the
G-Max.
G-Max. Thinking,
Because
yeah.
Miles were with him, so I think he came out for Plastic Tramp. And we've had, I've had, I'm sure, Red Right Hand count. Let's cover though, I guess, can't have it, can I? Because we couldn't have the apostrophe, could we? Or whatever it was.
No, Red Right Hand was a B-side though. You can have it. Fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to impose these rules on yourself just because you impose them on me.
Well, I've had no, because I don't. It's because I don't. Red Right Hand's like a proper cover. I don't even count that as like a proper cover. There's the dash because I think it's just, I don't know. It's not like them. It's not their usual type of cover. Like they tend to reinvent the song a bit. This one.
I'll be honest. I completely forgot it was on the Spotify singles thing and thought it was a Tranquility B-side. So it's all on me.
I just I'm not a huge fan. I really like the song. I like the lyrics, but I wish it was their song because it'd be great. But it's Red Right Hand feels different. It feels like because there will be a lot of people that probably don't even know it's like a cover when they hear it because it's not a huge, But there's just something different. They turned it into a Monkeys humbug track, didn't they? That's what they tend to do. They turn the song into a song that sounds like that era that they're in at the moment, which I've always been impressed by.
Speaking of which, that'll be coming at the end of this series. We're going to be doing an episode on the covers so far.
Yeah, because we're going to finish this. We're going to do all the B-sides, and then we're going to have a series of bonus episodes, which will be, including our wrap-ups that we always do. We'll have the covers one. We're going to have a couple more. I'm thinking of Favourite Worst Nightmare versus whatever people say, and That's What I'm Not episode, which will be difficult and fun in equal measure.
Horrible.
And we'll be leading up to December, won't we? And then we're going to take a pause for December. And we can
eat some food and drink some booze.
But although you'll still be able to, we'll be carrying on, getting ready for start of January, when we'll be launching the Humbug era. It'll probably take Christmas, the 2 weeks.
Oh, Humbug will be nice on those cold winter nights, won't it?
It will be, yeah. It will be, and
which means we'll be on Suck It and See in the summer.
Yes, I know. I've already thought about that. Although I don't know, we'd have to work it out how in the summer because Humbug has a lot of B-sides. I don't know how many, but when I was listening to the track by track, they recorded 26 tracks for the Humbug era.
Well,
so that means I worked out some of them we've never heard them. Some of them are out there still. Although Helder says he's reutilised the beats in other stuff. He says he always keeps a catalogue of the beats.
I'm not bothered about Suck It and See being released in the summer, as long as we're recording it in the summer. Fuck the listeners.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we will be recording it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I think it will, because if it's from January, there's only 10 tracks on Humbug and then some B-sides. So I would imagine it will be pretty much at least September that the audience will be hearing it, which means we'll be starting it in peak summer. But it will be Euros time as well, won't it? So we'll be doing something else then, I imagine, as well. But for people who in December when we do start, we are launching another project that we won't talk about yet too much. But we think listeners of this show will like it because it's song based, and it's another podcast, and we'll definitely be doing that in December because it fits. Yeah, absolutely. So you will have that as well.
If we're not doing that in December, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, if you miss us, then we are doing it.
The only reason we won't do that in December is because one of us has died. That'll be the only thing holding us back.
Probably.
That or just the world fully going to shit.
I won't have survived the working class trappings of being at a League Two football game. Go team! No. Us fancy Spurs fans from down south. Right, anyway, we're stalling it. We're chit-chatting. Shall we... is that your favourite bit as well? Music bit? Or?
Yes. Shout out for the bass as well, though. But
also shout out for the
end.
I love the end. Very firm end. Jamie. Do a hot take?
Do your hot take.
She flicks a red hot revelation off the tip of her toe.
The big bit when it all kicks off, the big expansive rock moment, is the biggest, most expansive rock moment they've had, even to this day.
Yes, it is.
I'm right, I was going to stir up a debate, but
it is. In terms of,
how it sounds when you listen to it in your headphones,
that's where we delineate the difference between heavy and expansive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Pretty Visitors is heavy. You know, like getting towards the solo and
Yeah, and a
everything.
better
but
song, obviously.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a better song, but this is just fully expansive. Expansive, yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. Okay.
I agree. I really,
Yeah.
really wanted to hate that.
It's the only song that when I hear it, I go, wow, it sounds loud. I don't get that a lot from them, where it sounds like this in that same way. You know, I get it from like Tranquility in a way that it's expansive in the way that there's a lot going on, but this is expansive in just a rock anthem stadium kind of way, like when you'd listen to like Foo Fighters or Queens or something. You know, not even Queens, more like a Foo Fighters type sound, where it's this loud sort of 360 rock sound that hits your ears. Yeah. God, I sounded like such a like cunty music journalist ending there. It's this 360 rock sound that hits your ears. But yeah, right. Okay. Well, I thought that was going to stir up like 10 minutes of debate and anger and arguments, but no, we just agree. So there
I'm
you
really
go.
annoyed that was quite good because I'm tired and really want to hit someone. But that's good. Well done.
Okay, thanks. Well, that's that then.
Yay! Yay! That just about wraps up our look at the final B-side from the Brianstorm single. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to go into the episode description, find all our links, follow us on all good social media platforms and some rubbish ones as well. Looking at you, Elon. We will be back next week with much of the same, or you can get episodes a week early if you subscribe to us on Patreon, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Again, have a look in the episode description or on the podcast players mentioned to find that. But we're back next week with what, Dan?
Well, Nick, sometimes under the right light, along with a night's worth of booze and enough drugs to make a dinner party with Pablo Escobar, Pete Doherty, and Robert Downey Jr. seem tame, you could look a bit like 007 and Brucey Wayne, I reckon, to someone with poor sight. Yes, it's time that we re-enter a nightclub we haven't been in since our feet got stuck to the floor and we bottled asking for a girl's number. Unless you follow Nick's train of thought with Lead 4 Lights Come On, but I've forgotten that train of thought already. If you've ever been peed off by the fella who does fuck all but gets every girl, then join us for a classic monkey sound with that funky hip-hop vibe as we go along under the frame, I hate saying this, tour, or 2R if you're not a twat.
Yeah, we've spent like 17 years calling it Deframe 2R and then found out like 2 days ago that it's
I
Deframe
did know, and I just refused to accept it years ago, and then I forgot because I wouldn't let it in because I don't like it.
Yeah,
makes me feel uneasy. I did find that out at the time, I think, but not for me.
I've forgotten 3 passwords and 1 PIN since that entered my head.
We'll find out next week, but if I'm not mistaken, the fact that it's Deframe Tour bears no relevance on the lyric. If it bared relevance on the song, then I'd go, okay, well, fair enough. But it doesn't seem.
Yeah,
like
it doesn't matter. The title doesn't matter.
It's just the name of the nightclub. I'd always thought Deframe 2R. I always thought Deframe 2R was the name of the nightclub or something that he's singing about them being in. If they are being a nightclub, find out next week. Maybe we have different opinions on that.
I mean, yeah, for all the relevance it has to the actual song, the title could have just been Dash, and my quiz would have been a bit better then. Right,
is this the last time we'll be in a nightclub with them?
Ooh. Yeah.
Is there something in Secret Door about them leaving a nightclub? There's something about the girl leaving a nightclub, yeah. But I don't think we're in it. We're not in the nightclub, so that's fine.
No. Why do you only call me when you're high? Has he arrived? I saw you leaving, carrying your shoes.
Yeah, but it makes because the video's in a bar. It's plagued my.
With the right people, Dan, any bar is a nightclub.
Because I think they were much like me at the time of that release. As much, well, no, actually, that was what I'm talking about. I'm getting mixed up with Tranquility. I was still going to nightclubs when I was 23, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, no, 42s was still very much a regular place for me. Haunt.
The emphasis on the word haunt.
Yes, definitely.
Right, let's wrap it up there. We're out of here to the nightclub, to the little bitty nightclub,
to the little bitty 42s, and get your hoe down.
If you're a subscriber, you'll get an extra bit of bonus chat with us about, I don't know, just saying that was all right, wasn't it? See you then.
The end one, yeah, because we've done this in record time.
Yes, we have, but we are off. Say goodbye to the nice people, Dan.
Goodbye.
Bye. Don't Believe the Hype is hosted and produced weekly by Nick Lee and Dan Holt. The music used in the titles is royalty-free music courtesy of Les FM. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast player of choice to be notified every Wednesday when a new episode is released. And if you want to help us out further, be sure to like and review to help make us more visible to like-minded souls. We will see you next week with more of the same.